Hey everybody, welcome to X-Plane 11. I am Bill, and today I'm going to, well, usually I obviously make a video title after the video, but I could probably make this title now, and it's going to be called Trying and Making a Mess of an ILS Approach with a G1000. It's kind of a long title, but that's probably what it's going to be. So right now we're in Fullerton, which is one of my favorite little airports to fly out of, and has a fantastic cafe in real life. It's awesome. I just had $2 mimosas there for brunch. Recommend it if you're in the area. So I'm going to fly from Fullerton to John Wayne. And I'm going to try to do this using autopilot and ILS approach into John Wayne. We're going to use the big runway 20 right, which is the only one that has that ILS approach capability. So the first video I did with the G1000 was just flying this plane with the GPS without even really looking too much into it. So I've done a little bit more studying, and I think I'm at least capable of somewhat figuring this out. So let's get the plane started first, and then we'll figure out what we got to do. Let's get the yoke out of here. Gosh. Okay. So, first thing you'll notice is there's no like startup on these GPS units. They just start immediately. So there's a little lacking in immersion there. There's no Garmin load screen or anything like that. So, okay, I'm going to fumble through this a little bit. Bear with me. This was another thing that I didn't really even think of, is being able to pop these things out, which is really nice, and they default to enormous. I don't need you that big. Okay, so first thing I want to do is I'm going to set up our flight plan here. So let's go to the right hand side, and I want to get rid of this because we're not there. Okay, so we're going to go to, of course, another OBS crash. So okay, we're going to go to two different waypoints, and we can actually see them on here, which is kind of cool. Haven't had that ability with the 430, 530. So the two waypoints we're going to go to, the first one is Prado. So let's go here. Let's see how well this goes. And it actually shows you the location on the little map, which is super cool. But you know what? I think that is not a D, is it? No. There's D. We don't need Prada. We need Prado. So I think that should be it, right? U.S. Southwest. Yep. Okay. And enter. Got it. Okay, so that worked. And then we're going to go to Sager. So let's. This is actually really cool. That it shows you the locations. That has to take a lot of processing power to be able to do that. Okay, so there's Sager. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. Okay, so Sager. And now we're going to go to KS N A, John Wayne, and enter. Okay, so we've got our three positions in here, so that will work. Let me pull up the charts here in 1 second. Okay, so we have ILS runway 20 right, and what do we have here? So we've got the frequency is 111.75. So let's get into procedure here, and let's select an approach, and pulls up our graph, which is really nice. And we're going to go to ILS 20 right is what we want. We're going to click enter here, and we actually are going to be intersecting at Sager. So I'm going to select that, and that pulls up our approach. This little loop, I don't know if you can see this range will work. Doesn't look like the range will work, but there's a little holding pattern here, which is really just for use if you're entering this approach from some weird angle. It kind of gives you an area to flip around and get lined up. So we can see that, and we're going to fly course reversal at Sager. We're not going to do that because we're going to come in kind of to the side, so we'll be okay. So let's do no on that. And the minimums, we know the minimums are, whoops, ILS 20 right, Sager, course reversal. Okay, how do I get over? There we go. Okay, so we're gonna do Barrow, and we're gonna do 260 feet. So the minimums is 200 feet. The airport is, the runway's at 55 feet. So our minimums are going to be at 260. And we see here we have the frequency at 111.75. And I think once we approve this, once we load that, it should add in that frequency into the primary, I think, because we're going to be running on GPS and we don't have anything tuned into the VOR nav. So we're going to load that, and it did not appear that it changed. But that's okay. We can set that here. So we've got the minimum set. We've got, that should be all right. So range, let's pull out and see what it looks like. So it looks like we're pretty set to leave Fullerton, catch the GPS here, Prado, Sager, and then that'll take us down, and we've got all of the little checkpoints here. We've got Snake, I don't know, can't tell what that is. Lemon's the final, I believe, and that'll take us all the way down. Okay, so that I think is loaded properly. We need, let's get Fullerton on the ATIS here so we can depart from the right runway. Let's do, it's 125.05. So that should be good there. Fullerton
Municipal Information, Juliet. 0 Zulu weather. Wind light and variable. Visibility more than 10. Sky clear.
Okay.
Temperature 17.
3004.
Altimeter
So there's that.
3004.
Okay.
Arriving runway 24.
So we're
Departing
leaving runway 24,
24,
which is perfect because that lines us up perfectly with our path. So we're gonna go to GPS, and we're gonna close these. Just to kind of, there's one other feature here that I learned about, which is this display backup, which is kind of cool. So if this display for some reason quit on us, you could click that and it immediately duplicates both onto either one. So regardless of which one quit, you can get everything all in one. So if the left screen quit, it'll display everything on the right. If the right screen quits, it'll display everything on the left. So kind of a cool function, which we don't need right now. So everything is in the green. Fuel looks good. Everything looks good. Let's get the normal fly stuff on here. Looks good. Okay. All right. So I think everything is okay. Airways. Look at that. That's really cool. Okay. So we're gonna keep that off. Traffic. We don't have any traffic. Topo. That's pretty nice to get that. Okay. I don't want to hit too many buttons because I don't want to get lost. All right, so let's taxi to runway 24. And see what's gonna happen. Now, I'm not sure. I again didn't read the patch notes, but I feel like there have been a bunch of improvements to this. The sound is amazing. I mean, it was good to begin with, but the default stuff seems like it's even a little bit better. Okay.
November 01 X-ray Papa. Cleared IFR to Kilo Bravo Foxtrot Lima as filed. Maintain 10,000. Squawk 4700.
Cleared IFR to Kilo Bravo Foxtrot Lima as filed. Maintain 10,000. Squawk 4700. November 01 X-ray Papa.
That is extremely loud and annoying. Okay. I think we're all right. Let's check the outside of the plane here. How does everything look? Looks good. Sounds good. Okay. Now let's make sure that I know where our autopilot is located. Okay. So here we got autopilot, and we've got heading, altitude, nav. Okay, so once we get airborne, we're going to hit that. And I think I hear another plane. Am I hearing things? Maybe. Okay. Let's get up in the air. Now, I really didn't want to start going down this rabbit hole, but I'm taking off on the wrong runway. Of course. This is runway 6, not runway 24. Sorry, everybody. That's what happens when you're focusing on other things. All right, so let's just pretend like that didn't happen. Let's get autopilot on. Whoa, that was a little jerky. And we're gonna go to nav. And what is the altitude set at? 4,500 feet. Let's do 4,000, and let's go to vertical speed. 900 feet per minute. It's too much. Where is the vertical speed? Okay, so I'm gonna have to find where that button is. Wonder if it's in the inner circle here. No, outer circle? Nope, those do the same. Just in bigger increments, I guess. Let's do 3,500. Okay. Alright, well, so far we are flying our magenta line. So that looks good. Over to Prado. And looks good out the windows. We're in a very steep climb, which I'm not a huge fan of. And I would like to be able to change that. Range. Okay, that's for the little guy. Yeah. Let's see. Nose down. Let's go nose down. There we go. There we go. Okay. Nose down. 500 feet per minute. All right. That's good. And let's... Oh, what did I do there? Moved it up. Okay, so let's go down to 3,000. And nose up a little bit. 500 feet per minute. Okay. Of course, I'm focusing on this stupid GPS and not flying the plane. I took off at the wrong runway and had it leaned out. Let's go full rich. Okay. All right, so we are traveling at 90 knots, tracking 061, 062 here. That's a little off. 061 there, though. We are going to K full to Prado. 5.6 miles from. Okay, so 5.5 miles to our destination. Estimated time is in seconds as well, which is pretty cool. And that's good. Okay, so we're coming up to our altitude. Let's see if everything settles down. Okay, vertical speed is coming down. It's rounding off really nicely. Look at how slow that's rounding off. That's a huge change even over the 430. So that's huge improvement there. That rounds off really nicely. Okay, let's pull back. Don't need to go too fast. Okay. Alright, so that looks good. 3.7 miles out. Okay, I don't know if that might be the wind. Everything's still in the green. Yeah, having done a little bit of research, I do really like this G1000. I feel like it's wasted time for me trying to learn it because it's not going to be really practical in real flights, in real planes. I would like it to be because if you've got a G1000, I think things are going well for you. But I don't know if that's going to be in the cards for a little while at least. Okay. All right, so now let's do some flying stuff. We're 1.7 miles out and about a minute out, so we're good on lights. We're full rich. We want that. That's okay. Throttle's out a little bit. We're holding speed at about 100, so that's good. And let's see what happens when we get to Prado. Let's see how the plane reacts, how steep of a bank we're going to get. Okay, so it's coming up in 10 seconds. 5. Okay, so it's a little bit behind there. Oh, a little shimmy to the left. And turning. Perfect. Okay, so our next one is Sager. Okay, now the glide slope on that departure, or sorry, on that arrival, I think only applies to turbojet engines. So let's see. And I think we're probably going to be under the maximum. Yeah, we're at 3,500 is where you enter, and we're at 3,000. So we're going to come in under that ILS glide slope. So let's see what it does to us if we intercept Snake, which is a goofy checkpoint, is 3,400, and then what is that? HUKEM intercept point is at 2,800. So that one we'll need to come down for that. Okay, so now we're turning again in 7 seconds. So we should be turning now. There it goes. Good. Okay, so now we're over Sager. This looks good. And let's see if it'll activate the procedure. It's probably not going to, because I probably didn't do something right. But let's see if it does. Okay, so it's coming around. Yeah, it looks like it's picking up something. Is it going to catch that? I think I need to hit approach. Okay, so let's hit approach. GPS approach, I think. I don't know. Look, yeah, approach is in there. It's activate approach. Oop, there we go. Okay, so it did something. what did it do? It's now turning. Let's see what happens. So I clicked activate approach. We're holding 3,000 feet. Let's see what it does here. Let's hope that it kind of swings back here, and oh, the reflection of the sun looks cool. Let's see if it swings back and catches Sager. A little close to these hills here. Okay, straightening out. Alright, so it might come back here and swing back around. Let's see if it does that. Okay. 1.6 away. Now is this gonna be... Okay, starting to bank left now. What is it doing? Okay, so it hit Sager, and now magenta line is that next bit. So maybe I didn't activate that approach in time. So now it's wanting to go to Sager to Snake. I really like this. This functionality is fantastic. All the information you can get, and it shows it gives you all this information, the ILS frequency. Okay, so now let's pull out of this turn a little bit, maybe. Is it gonna fly to it? Yeah, looks like it. Okay. Right. There's the 91 freeway. Okay, so now we should be going. We'll be heading over Orange and turning to the left here. Airport, I think, is right there. Yeah, the 530 wouldn't do this in a million years. It's going to pick up this line. All right, and 196 is the dead-on heading as well for that approach. And 220 is actually the Lemon intersection altitude. So since we're underneath the Snake interception, it's going to keep us at this altitude until we get to Lemon, it looks like. So now we're joining the glide slope. There is the airport, I'm assuming, right? I think that's it. Some kind of lights over there. Maybe not. I don't know what that is. It's bright though. Okay, so now we should be coming on to 196 here in a moment. A little bit off now. Hopefully this isn't distracting having these things big here. It's just hard to see it on one screen. Ideally I'd have a second screen with these on all the time. Okay. Little correction there. 198. Tracking 197. Okay, so this is just a little bit off. Look good so far. Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know what that was, but there's the runway right there. Just lined up perfectly. This is cool. Oops. Little 172. Let's get landing light on. Okay, so let's do a quick little check. So undercarriage fixed, so we're good there. We've got lights good. We've got mixture full lean. We got airspeed where we want it. Let's get the first notch of flaps down. We could do that. We're very, and it corrects. Look at that. That's cool. We're way early for flaps in a 172, but I'm more concerned about how this is working. Okay, 3 seconds to the next intersection. So there it is now. So now we're going from bonk to lemon, and we should be going down to hitting that 2200 foot. Let's see if it's going to do that. So immediately lowered the nose. Can't believe this is doing it. I might have to rechange the video title. Okay, that I think that sounded like a marker, right? Okay, so now we're on the ILS. Let's pull the power back. So it went from magenta to green. So now we're on the locator, Loc 1. So it did that automatically. So now we are flying off of the ILS frequency. And we should be coming up to 2,200 feet here. And it might time this. No, it's not going to time it perfectly, but it's going to be pretty close. We should be at Lemon at 2,200 feet. So we're coming up to Lemon now, and it's just above 2,200 feet. And that is the final approach. You can see we've got Lemon FA, so that's final approach, runway 20 right, and we're looking good. We are right on glide slope. Look at that. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. This is too cool. Okay. So cool. And we are about six miles from the runway. We've got the minimum set at 260 feet. And let's see what happens. Man, I am actually super excited that this worked. Airspeed's looking good. We've got our first flaps in, 450 feet per minute down. And that's going to change basically based on our speed right now. So if we were going a little bit faster, that would be that would go a little higher. Here's the 55 freeway. Just cross right over that, and then we not quite parallel it, but come right down. This is amazing. The fact that it automatically does all this stuff for you is too cool. I mean, it just automatically switched from switched the CDI to from GPS, which was following, the first couple of legs of the approach, and it automatically switched it to the ILS frequency, which it automatically put in there. And we're looking good. Just bang on glide slope. Look at that. 3 miles out. So if I start pulling some throttle back a little bit, we're gonna see the feet per minute here drop, and it already started to drop a little bit. So I think it does it in 50 knot increments. Textually, but it should that needle should drop slightly. Okay, so let's get the second flaps in there. There you go. You see, immediately changes the it's just hooked to the glide slope right now. It's gonna bring it right in. This is so cool, guys. Okay, let's get this thing out. Okay. All right. It's gonna bring us right down to minimums. Gotta get ready now. 82 knots. It's just stuck in there. Look at this. 400 feet per minute. There's our minimums coming up. 260. Good on flaps. I don't want to go full flaps. Looks good. Okay, we are past minimums now. You can see the runway. It's just going to take us right down. Let's see how far it'll take us. 5 seconds. Now. Just right down. Right down. You've got to be kidding me. That is the coolest thing ever. Whatever it's doing on the ground here isn't cool, though. Let's get the ape. Yeah. Whoa. Okay. So ground was a little bit weird, but let's turn off of 20 right. Wow. All right, well, that actually went far better than I thought it ever could possibly go. I did, and that was like minimum studying on the capabilities there, and it did it flawlessly. I mean, that I can't think of anything that could have been better. It just right down, no problem at all. God, that is too cool. Too cool, guys. Well, hopefully you stuck around and saw that landing, because it was really cool coming all the way down. I mean, it's just rock solid. Look at that. Didn't touch. I mean, all you got to do is baby the throttle, and I think it would have just landed itself. Yeah. I mean, it wasn't... I did something wrong there, for sure. I think it landed on the nose wheel first. Let's see. I think it was just kind of following that glide slope until the absolute last moment. But I didn't flare it until like the absolute last second. All right. No, that was almost 3-point. A little bit of a bounce there, but yeah, that is super cool. Well, thank you guys for watching. Oops, wrong button. Yeah, there we go. Back at John Wayne. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. And you know, actually, what prompted me to do this was a comment that I had, and let me pull up who actually commented. The first time that I took the G1000 out, I just kind of barely got in it and took off immediately, and it was Harvey 604 Journeyman commented that I do a little more homework on how to use the G1000 and do a little instructional video. I am the last person on this planet to do an instructional video on this, but I thought it, you know, it was you know, he was complimentary. Enjoy your stuff so far, keep doing what you do, and we'll learn together. So I thought, you know what, it's a good point. Let's I'm going to do a little bit more research, find out the capabilities of this G1000, and let's just learn it together. So for those of you that have not yet tried to do an instrument approach using the G1000, I just did it, and I had no hopes at the beginning of this video that I was going to be able to do it, but really is pretty simple. We had a little hiccup there with the transition. I think we just got to hit that activate approach once we either get close or before. I'll have to test that out. But yeah, the new update here is great. I mean, the reflections look amazing. The G1000 is super fun. Just a really cool plane. So let's get her shut off here, and yeah, really fun. All right, guys. Well, thank you again for watching, and if you have not subscribed, please do so. I try to do. Really got to figure out this OBS, but yeah, I try to do as many of these as possible. So subscribe, get notified when I got one up, and we'll just start learning this stuff together. So if this was helpful, give it a thumbs up. If it was super lame, thumbs it down. The feedback really does help. I love doing these videos just for my, you know, just personally, but if there's a video type that you guys get more enjoyment out of over another, letting me know helps, and it's even more fun to make videos that you guys like watching as well. So again, thanks guys, and see you next time. Peace.